I just wanted to make a quick video about Beauty. So, a few days ago, Beauty was going out to my granny and granddad's with me, and we were in the back of my granddad's Jeep. And what happened was, I opened up the back door, and both Beauty and Pickle were there. And Pickle, I lifted down, and Beauty, unfortunately, ran past without waiting to be lifted like she usually would, and she fell out of the Jeep. Now, she immediately got up and she ran down the field. She was having a great time, running around, just celebrating being in the countryside, and didn't appear to have anything wrong with her. But shortly after, she started limping. So, like you can see at the very start of the video, she was kind of not putting her weight on her back rear left leg properly, but she was still playing. Like you can see here, this was maybe a half hour after she started limping, and she was still in the mood to play. She was still eating, still drinking. So, I wasn't sure if she'd actually caused herself damage or if she was just a bit sore because she landed badly. So I decided to leave her because it was about 7 p.m. or such by the time we actually got out. So by the time she actually started limping, it was about 8:30. So most of the vets were closed already anyway. So I said I'd leave her overnight and see if she rested it, and I didn't bring her for a walk or anything, and left her be to see how it went. But unfortunately, the next morning she was limping just as badly. My vet did not have any appointments for that day, so I rang around and I found one just up the road from my grandparents' house, and they said that they had one about 3 o'clock that day. So I went, grand, I'm going to keep an eye on her throughout the day. 3 o'clock we'll bring her, see what how she's doing. So as you can see, she was putting down the toe occasionally, and she was occasionally stepping on it. But what I was suspecting was a torn cruciate, because she was very overweight when she was younger. She was near the 35 to 40 kilo mark. She now weighs 21 or 22, depending. She kind of fluctuates around there. So I wouldn't be surprised if her legs are already kind of weak from that, carrying all that extra weight when she was younger. So, I was like, I just, a torn cruciate, it tends to be, it's the ligament of the knee, and it tends to be like this, where they keep the leg up entirely, and they sometimes put it down, they sometimes lift it up. So I'm not a vet, so I didn't just assume anything. I said, right, I'm going to bring her to her appointment and see what the vet says. The vet appointment went fairly well. She was very good for it, and the vet said that it looked like it could be one of a couple of things: a dislocated hip, a torn cruciate, or maybe a small fracture somewhere that she was unwilling to put weight on the leg. Unfortunately, to test all of this, we needed an x-ray. So I arranged to do an x-ray. I didn't arrange to do an x-ray with them because of the fact that I can't drive. And I had no way of guaranteeing that I was going to be able to get out to my granny's and then go to this place, so forth. So I arranged with a different vet in town. Again, not my vet, because unfortunately my vet is they're a bit of a smaller practice. They're newer in the area, and they have a sister practice, and that one has x-rays and stuff, but it's even further away. So I contacted a different vet, and they're after giving me an appointment for Tuesday. So right now it is Saturday. So on Tuesday she's going to be going in for an x-ray, and because of her age, she's about half past 8. I'm so tired, lads. She's about 8.5. There we go. So because of her age, they're saying that for the x-ray they have to sedate her, and when she's sedated, they'll be able to move the leg around, because it can be extremely painful, obviously, if something is torn up there or broken. She's not going to let you move it, or she's going to be in a lot of pain, or she could be resisting against, and it could feel like there's something not moving properly, but really she's just really tense. So it's better to sedate so they can move it around and test it properly to see what is the issue. So they said because she's 8.5, it'll be better to sedate her, do the x-ray, manipulate the joint, look at everything, and then if there is something wrong, they have booked the appointment for long enough that if there is, they can actually fix it there and then. So on Tuesday, she's going to be going in and she's going to be getting her leg x-rayed, and if there's something wrong and that requires surgery, they'll be doing the surgery there and then. So I will be updating to this one at that point and see how we go. Okay, so it is Monday, and I'm about to step on a dog. Guys, can you move a little bit? Move, 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 move. Thank you. There we go. So it is Monday. I'm prepping all the Beauty stuff now, so I don't have to be in a rush on Tuesday. So basically, tonight I'm going out to my grandparents, and they're going to give me a lift because they're doing shopping or something in the morning that is on the way to the vet anyway. So they're going to go with me. So tonight I have to grab all this and bring it with me. Good thing for the vets is bring a really bright and unique bag. So this is a Canicross Ireland bag, and it's luminous orange, and I'm just, I'm just not, I'm not taking the risk of bringing just like a little backpack or something. I want it to be bright as hell so they can find it, because obviously a vet and a vet nurse's responsibility and first priority is the animals. And I'm not saying I don't trust them to not lose it, but like, if I'm worrying about operating on a leg or something, I'm not particularly worried about where is their bag, because there's other food and stuff they could have. So, anyway, bright orange, because it's better that way. I've got her food. So, again, I'm a little bit paranoid. It'll just make me feel better and make me a little bit less anxious. Beauty's food for Tuesday night. She's the collie lab that's diabetic with a bad left rear leg. It'll be very unlikely she'll be mixed up with someone else. So I've got Tuesday night. Basically, I'm bringing her in tomorrow morning. It's Monday, yeah? Yeah, sorry. Oh, lads, I'm so tired. I have not slept. It is Monday, yes. Oh, Jesus. It's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Dropping her in tomorrow morning. They're going to be doing x-rays. And depending on what the x-rays show will affect what happens next. So if it's something like a dislocation or a twist or a bad sprain of some kind, then they can fix that from the outside most likely. However, if it's a torn cruciate, if it's like a bad dislocated hip or something, if it's a fracture, so on and so forth, they may need to operate. So if they need to operate, she needs food for the Tuesday night that she goes in, and she'll be staying there till the Wednesday. So then she needs her food for Wednesday morning. And again, paranoia-wise, extra portion, just in case the stay gets extended. Or if she, I don't know, vomits up her food and they need to feed her some more. Or if, I don't know, there's an issue of some kind that they're like, oh, we need this. Like, she's diabetic. Maybe her sugar goes really far down. They're like, oh, we want to give her some extra food. Like, something like that. So they have the freedom of, instead of changing over her food in the middle of it, she's got the same type of food. And again, it's just on the clear bit, so it's not as clear. Bad rear left leg. So, we've got the food that she needs. And I'm going to leave that to one side. Here's the thing. I could bring her in tomorrow morning. They could x-ray her. They could be like, yeah, here's some anti-inflammatories. Go home. She's being dramatic. But I don't think that's what it is. I think she's going to get an operation. Then I've got her insulin. This is going to really show how paranoid of a person I am. So here's her insulin. And it has a picture of her in it. So we know whose insulin it is. So that's her. This is her insulin, her needle. This is a sticker that I'm going to be just throwing onto the top there in 1 second. And it just says, insulin for beauty. Collie lab, bad rear left leg. And she gets 11 units after each meal. And she's fed morning and evening. So that's everything they'll need to know. That is going to have to live in the fridge, but at least it's labelled and stuff. And I'm going to set an alarm on my phone to make sure I don't forget it. Then I have an old dog tag. And this is, I'm diabetic and on medication, don't feed me. And then I have to cover it because my phone number is on it. Yeah, there's no way for me to properly do it. But this says beauty and has my phone number and has I'm chipped on it. So this is an old tag, which is a spare one. That's going on the bag. So if the bag is misplaced and they find it ages later, there's a tag on it. They can give me a phone call and be like, oh, hey, we found this bag. Fantastic. So that's basically everything that I can think of that they would need, aside from her bowl. But obviously I'm going to need to feed her tonight and such. Because she is diabetic, she needs to be fed tomorrow morning, even though she's going to be sedated. So for anyone who doesn't know, hello there. For anyone who doesn't know or has never really had an operation themselves or had an animal get an operation, you do not feed them before sedation because there's a sphincter. So a sphincter is just a ring of muscle that controls whether or not stuff is allowed in and out. So you've got one, say, at the top of your stomach, and that one, it'll close and it'll keep all the food stuff in there. Even if you did like a headstand, your food doesn't just fall down your body. All right. So what happens is they eat their food and it goes right down. But if they're sedated, that sphincter doesn't work. So sometimes the food can just fall back up the throat. And if it falls up the throat, it can go into their mouth and then it can accidentally go into their lungs. They can aspirate it, which is like choking, where they breathe it in by mistake instead of swallowing it, and they can die. So you do not feed an animal if your vet says don't feed an animal. However, Beauty's diabetic, so Beauty needs to be fed. So Beauty is going to be fed her morning food. I'm just going to feed her very early. And this is what the vet has said to do. Always do what your vet says. All right, always. Because if you lie to them or if you say to them, oh no, they didn't get anything, but you did give them a snack for being a good dog in the car, they're going to aspirate in that. And because of the fact that she's diabetic and because of the fact that she has to be fed, there's going to be an extra vet nurse helping deal with her to keep an eye on her blood sugar, keep an eye on make sure she doesn't aspirate her food, so on and so forth. So usually I'd feed her at like 8 in the morning or so, but she's getting operated on at like 9:30. So I'm going to feed her like at 6 o'clock or so, just that little bit earlier to help her actually absorb her sugars and so on and so forth, and get her food into her, and then give her insulin as per usual, and send her in with all of her stuff. And hopefully it's something that they can just fix that day and it'll be easy. Realistically, I'm going to be collecting her Wednesday afternoon or evening, hence why there's Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and then possibly Wednesday evening food. And hopefully at that point she'll be operated on and fixed up and all will be well. So, hold on, where is she? Beauty. You might be able to see her leg. So she does walk on it. It's this one that she's hiding. She does step on it occasionally, but you can see like she's not putting her weight on it properly still. Like she's just not. She's tipping the floor with the toe, and that's it. And like if I obviously I'm not going to, but if I like pushed her even just slightly, she would 100%, she'd just go. So I've been a little bit anxious with doorways and things because someone, unnamed individual, has been bumping into her continuously, and someone else has been assisting in the bumping. So yeah, she has to, like, look, she just, whenever she stands still, she holds it up. I know, but we're gonna fix it. It's gonna be okay. You stop with the bumping. So yeah. So that's the current plan. That's the current story. She's hopefully gonna be fixed up by the vet, and we'll see what happens. And this is just what I've packed for her. And I'll throw in a bowl as well, but obviously I need the bowl for tonight to feed her, and in the morning to feed her, and then I'll just throw it into the bag with everything else. And that is it. So hopefully all goes well. I will update. I'll probably post this today, just so I can make, that's her just drinking her water. Hopefully I'll post this today just so I can have it like over and done with and I don't need to be thinking about it. And then tomorrow when she goes in, realistically I won't make a video on it till Wednesday or Thursday because of words. I'm really tired, lads. Excuse me. What? Where's the postman? Okay, so the postman arrived, which is very good because that, I believe, is a soft cone I've gotten for Beauty just in case she does get surgery. And if she doesn't use it, then herself is going to be spayed in December or so. Start of December, middle of December, hopefully. So she can use it if Beauty doesn't, and it's just good to have on hand. And then the other thing is a rug I got from my bedroom. Because I'm living in my parents' living room at the moment, and it's got a wooden floor and it's very slippy, and if Beauty does get something done with her leg, she's not going to be able to balance very well. So, nearly done, I swear. Yeah, so basically I'm probably going to post this on Wednesday, post the next bit Wednesday or Thursday realistically, because then I'll know what's happening and I can explain it better, instead of putting up bits and pieces here and there being like, oh, it's maybe this or maybe it's that or blah, 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 blah. Nah. So yeah, that's all. That's it. Wish her luck. I'm sure it's going to be an operation, but she'll be grand. These vets are very, very good. So hopefully all will be well, and hopefully they don't mock me for my paranoia and labeling everything and picture of her in an insulin box. And yeah, that is it. So I shall update when I know more. Adios. Bon voyage. Have a good day.